Good evening. Welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. I do want to thank you all for checking in. I miss you. Love you all. Today has been kind of a rough day emotionally, so I thought we could talk about that a little bit. Sorry, I keep looking around at the house. The local charity called God's Pantry came by. I guess they're a ministry. Anyway, they came by today and took the first load of furniture. So the living room is a little bare. They took the couch, the end tables, the lamps, basically all of the primary living room furniture, a recliner, the secondary end tables from the den downstairs, and some other things I had packed up and ready to go for them. I did just essentially pull stuff out of cabinets, put in boxes. I have no idea what all is in the boxes and stuff that I gave them. It just was a lot of stuff because it took up a lot of room. And they came and took a bunch of it away today, so I'm a little off kilter. The house is feeling kind of bare. They'll come finish taking the bedroom furniture on another day. They'll pack up my furniture that I'm taking and help me load my truck when I get that rented. They're going to clean the house, have the carpets done. An impressive amount of work they're doing and help that they're providing me and others via my donations to them. So I'm feeling very blessed to be able to help them with my donations, and equally blessed that they're able to help me clear out the house and get it ready for sale. So watching them haul out all this furniture today and all of these household items and other stuff was a little emotional. It was kind of rough. It just makes it all come home very real. So I took myself out after that to an English style tea house that I found in town and gave myself a little pick-me-up that way, and followed up with more sadness by going to the cemetery. So that was definitely emotional. I didn't expect to be as emotional as I was. I drove around, found the grave site, and I was a little melancholy, but mostly okay, until I opened the door and stepped out of the car. And then the tears just flooded, and I was so emotional, and I actually had a really good hard cry sitting there for a few minutes at the cemetery at my mom's grave. Now, something that I think added to the emotion is my grandmother is buried right next to where to the plot my mom and stepdad share, cremated, and then next to them on the other side is my uncle. So it was a lot of visit at one time, particularly because Mom is so fresh. It it definitely was more than I expected. I really did break down kind of hard. Um, and I'm thinking that's because I haven't really had a good hard cry since the service. I've had some teary moments and some sadness, but a real hard sobbing cry, this is the first one I've had in a while, and I didn't expect to cry so hard, but I did, and I feel quite a bit better since. So then I treated myself to another pick-me-up and went to Macy's, looked around, found a necklace I liked, remembered Black Friday's coming up, so maybe I'll go back if I'm not driving, which I very well may be. But the idea is, yeah, to not spend every penny I have. And I don't know, I found some earrings and a bracelet and, you know, a few things that I kind of liked, but decided not to buy, but it was fun to look. And then I came home and decided to check in and talk to you. So here we are. And there's actually more to add on the practical side of things too. So I'm talking with my realtor and deciding whether the best way to go on selling the house is to use a personal representative deed or sell it and take the money. But then I realized that that's kind of already been worked out and not so much of an issue as long as we do it right. The title company essentially is going to take care of the payout and making sure the transaction happens properly between the real estate agent, professional guy, you know, this is what he does, and the title company who does all the research and checks on any liens, that sort of thing. So fortunately, I have less to worry about than I thought in that regard. And now I have dishes packed up and bedding and linens packed up, kind of living on the absolute bare minimum now for the rest of my time here till I get the house cleared out and move out and go back home. So I do have to admit, I am looking forward to going home and seeing my family, pet the cat, cook in my own kitchen, actually cook a full meal will be really nice. It will be a little disappointing and sad to give up this amazing rental car that I've got, but it will be nice to stop paying for it. So there's a lot of, you know, a lot of bittersweet. So I'm a little melancholy, but definitely feeling better after having some tea, going to the cemetery, getting a good cry, and looking around, realizing how real it is. Now, I do have to say, also with all of the professional advice I've been getting and the encouragement and the support telling me not to worry, everything's going to be fine with the house, it does kind of still leave me a little nervous, because how long am I going to have to keep paying the mortgage before the house sells? The average days on market here is about 2 weeks, but that's for a house needing less work. Plus, I may have to take a cash buyer. How long do we have to wait for that? Of course, I'm getting ahead of myself because the house isn't even fully on the market yet. We're not listing it until we're planning the day after Thanksgiving. That way I have a chance to get a truck loaded and get on the road and let the cleaning people come in and do their job. So that's kind of where we are. I know it's been a short check-in, but I really don't have much more to say in this regard. I just keep moving, keep doing more and more every day, trying to get as ready as I can to load up and go home. So that said, again, I want to thank you for checking in and seeing where we are in the process, because this is a whole process. I did check in with my friend back home who lost her mom just a few weeks after mine, and her mom was also a good friend of mine who I cared about deeply. We hadn't been in touch very well recently, but I am in touch with her daughter all the time. I mean, we were very, very close, and so it makes me terribly sad for her, but we've been a really good support system for each other over the phone. And then I also learned this week that another friend of mine lost her mother this week. So there's a lot of this going around, and it can be tough emotionally, also when you're trying to support your friends. So the good news is we do have each other, and we are supporting each other, and guiding each other through the different parts of the process where we are. My friend who lost her mom a few weeks ago, actually, she's dealing with some very similar issues to me in regards to her family's estate. And I guess we're just, we're figuring it out, working through it. That's what we do here. So as far as me, I'm definitely emotional, everyone. I love you all. If I seem distant or snippy or whatever out of normal for me, I do apologize, because I don't mean to be. I'm just doing the best I can, trying to work through it, and hopefully you know, once I get the house sold, that will be some really good closure. I do want to just briefly talk about grieving for a moment. And I may have mentioned this in one of my other videos, but people always say that we're grieving for ourselves and that we're sad for what we've lost. And that's true, but I also think there's more to it than that. At least for some of us, you know, when we're grieving a loved one, I think we're also grieving for them, for all the things they're going to miss that they would have wanted to be there for. The birthdays, the birth of the great-grandchild, you know, whatever other nice things may come that they would want to be there for that they have to miss. I do think that we grieve for that, for them. I also think we grieve for them, depending on, you know, their age and all. You know, if you're really young, you might grieve the parent who has to miss out on watching their child graduate high school, seeing their daughter get married. Fortunately, I had my mom. You know, I had my mom through raising my own child. And that I can't ever be grateful enough for. I do miss her. I really do miss my mom. And hey, look, I forgot to take some things off the wall. So I guess the God's Pantry people will be getting more besides just more furniture. So it'll all be okay, and I'm getting through it with the amazing support and love from my friends and family. Oh, excuse me, hiccups. Back in Arizona, as well as the girls at the Chinese tea house that are always so sweet when I go in there. The experience has really helped a lot. You know, so I'm getting through it, and I know that once I get the closure of having the house finalized and sold, I'll be greatly relieved, and I think I'll be able to move on and be really positive about it. So I guess that's pretty much all I have to say tonight. Thank you very much for checking in. I do love and appreciate you all, as I keep saying, but I just don't feel like I can express enough how much you all mean to me. So there we have it. I look forward to getting home and seeing everyone, and a great big shout out to my cousin Ken, who's been an amazing lifeline for me, from 3,000 miles away in Virginia, calling and having long conversations with me when I've needed it, and just sharing our great friendship that you can have with family. For you, cousin, again, I can't let you know enough how much I love you and how grateful I am that we're family. So on that note, I'm going to say goodnight to everyone. and go get a glass of wine and figure out where I'm gonna sit to watch some TV. So, love you all. See you soon. Good night. Stay blessed.